thunderstorm, silent sticky rain. Loud booming bedroom, lights up, I hear your loud moving foot stomp. Dark sky light up, natural firework. I follow your clouds, rolling white sky, turning round, soothing sound, rain falling, bounce every ounce like ground in your feet and pool. Flowing water, the bottom, electric, don't mess with. Thunderstorm in summer, the storm of the season. I've been waiting all winter, watching through window, chasing your temperament. Remembering, flirting safer from a distance. I miss this time spent on porch and chair. Watch a flash of heat and atmosphere. Sudden thunderstorm in summer with sweaty, sticky skin. Cured by silent drops of rain falling pure. Cured by silent drops of rain falling pure. Summertime be coming around. I got that hot track you be loving to bump up in the backseat when you're making them turns. I got the breeze coming in from the east. North side raised, river west proud. Got my own sound, living on my own now about 5 years now. Sisterhood strong, loud and proud. Stand up and shout. Bell hooks loud. If you haven't heard before, you better get online. It's a new feminism coming straight from the grind. Deliver some newish, straight for them lows. Ain't got time for images. Pimp slapping hoes, it's a pickup game. And I got a jumper, don't let the long hair and the height fool ya. Been loving hip hop since I learned to crawl. Been in love with the mic since I kissed my lips and gave birth to words, to a spirit that was fearless. Been through trauma that only made me stronger. Now I make movies, skip the drama like baby mamas. No child support, paying fathers. Might as well get left at the altar if your man is gonna cheat. Like Mary J said, not gonna shed no tears. So you better be happy with your secretary. So you better be happy with your secretary. Summer's thunderstorm, silent sticky rain. Loud booming bedroom, lights up, I hear your loud moving foot stomp. Dark sky light up, natural firework. I follow your clouds, rolling white sky, turning round, soothing sound, rain falling, bounce every ounce like ground in your feet and pool. Flowing water, the bottom, electric, don't mess with. Thunderstorm in summer, the storm of the season. I've been waiting all winter, watching through window, chasing your temperament. Remembering, flirting safer from a distance. I miss this time spent on porch and chair. Watch for flash of heat and atmosphere. Sudden thunderstorm in summer with sweaty, sticky skin. Cured by silent drops of rain falling pure. Cured by silent drops of rain falling pure.
Hello, welcome to Burdock Radio. My name is Keith Gosted. I'm the producer of this show. The things you will hear over the next hour of the show represent the views of Burdock Radio and not the people making them. All opinions and quotations in no way represent River West Radio and are the sole responsibility of the producer, guests, and callers. River West Radio is not liable for any legal issues arising from the content of this program. All right, that's our new disclaimer, which is on our table here. It's good to have things actually written down so that I know what I'm supposed to say. My guest this week is Melissa Czarnik, and she's got Eric Mire along with her.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Hey guys. The song you just heard is Thunder Summer Storm off of Strawberry Cadillac, your first album, right?
Yes.
And what year did that come out again?
That came out in 2008, so that is quite a long time ago.
All right. Now, let's see. I wanted to talk about so many things, but reading that disclaimer shook me, man, because now I feel like I'm really responsible for a lot of stuff that I wasn't responsible for just a week ago.
I know, me too. Too much responsibility.
I know. So I guess we're still not supposed to swear, but we're just trying. We're trying here. So, and a lot of your songs are kind of clean, actually. For a hip hop artist, that's kind of rare, isn't it? Like,
yeah, I think. Well, my first two albums are pretty clean. This next album that I'm working on is full of dirty language, but
do you have to pardon your French in it?
Pardon my French. Pardon my Français.
You'll find out in a moment why that's funny. If you're listening to the first time and don't know Melissa.
Right, but I think because I'm a poet too, like I try to use words to describe, not just cop out on some swear words. I try to be more thoughtful with my content.
Okay. Well, that's actually, we should talk about that since you had to pardon your French. You just came back from France. How many weeks ago was it now?
It was a month ago now.
A month ago?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's been a month already. All right. So how long were you in France?
I was in France for 2 months, and I was there April through May.
Okay.
And I could have been there 2 more months. It was so beautiful.
All right. And Eric, did you get over there to visit her a couple times?
I did. I was there for the last 2 weeks of it.
Okay. Now it was a writing recording experience. You were recording an album or writing an album?
Yeah, I was
both?
writing an album. I went there to write the album and record the album. And I was in an artist residency for 2 months, just focused on writing the lyrics. And then Eric came out the last 2 weeks, and we did some recording. But we had a lot of recording we had to do when we got back as well.
Okay.
Yeah, just the acoustics of the room. We were not prepared for that. So we did a lot of post-production when we got back to Milwaukee.
Okay. But you did actually end up recording a lot of the music over there too?
Yeah, well, Eric was, so while I was there for 2 months, Eric was sending me beats every day. He was sending me a track per day. And I wrote to maybe 17 or 18 of them. And out of, I think, 40 beats you sent me by the time you got there.
Wow. You're prolific, man.
He's super.
Yeah, I took up the poet challenge for the National Poetry Month with the 30-30.
Okay.
And I wrote it into probably the next 10 or 15 days of April. So.
Oh wow.
Or May.
May, yes.
Yeah. He did the poet challenge with music,
but he did it with beats.
Yeah.
Okay. That's really cool. That's like supplying you a canvas, for your lyricalosity, lyricism.
Lyricalosity. Yeah, it was good because he pushed me. He really every morning I'd wake up and there's like a 7-hour time difference. So when I'd wake up, he'd be sound asleep, and it was like my coffee. It got me so excited, and I'd try to write to it if it fit with me. The lyrics just poured out, but sometimes it didn't, and those ones got set aside. But most often, I got something down on paper.
Well, how long have you guys been collaborating? Actually,
4 to 8 years, maybe.
48 years.
48 years. No, 4 to 8 years.
We've been collaborating since
3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 of them. It wasn't we weren't as serious about. It was just kind of.
That would make that 9 years.
9 years. Yeah, 9 years. 9 years.
Mathematician in the house.
So we did some things that either were for fun or we maybe gave to friends. And then I think I put out an album in 2007. It was just a self-titled album, and Melissa was featured on a song there. And by the time that was out, we were already working on her album, so we knew that was ahead of us. But it's been a lot more serious in the last 4 years.
And you have 2 albums, Eric. You have the Eric Mire, and then you also have Spooky Love.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And Melissa's featured on a track or 2 on Spooky Love as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you backed away from like MCing since you've taken up more producer roles? Or do you still do a lot of both?
I actually have. I don't have a good explanation for it. In part, I've become a lot more interested in jazz and improvising, so I spend probably more of my time doing that.
Right.
I still get kind of excited to write more songs and record them, and I do some, like there were some songs I wrote verses for the album with Melissa, but they just didn't make the album. So
you wrote to him, but I couldn't.
Yeah.
It was like they spoke to him, they pulled like lyrics out of him, but I couldn't write to the beat when it came time for me to work on it.
So yeah, I think I have pulled back to being more of a musician than.
Okay. But you're still active in both, like songwriting and the production and musicianship.
Yes.
Do you get together with like other jazz musicians ever and just jam, or?
I don't. I'm really into stride piano and some of the kind of the almost more ragtimey jazz stuff, as well as, I mean, I like the full spectrum of jazz, so I've really been focusing on developing some music that I can play and perform starting in that vein, and then I think I'll branch out from there.
You have a show coming up though,
I was just going to plug that.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great opportunity to plug things, by the way.
So actually tomorrow night, for the first time, I'll do a solo jazz set. Janine Rivers and I are doing a gig at Patty's Pub. I want to say it's free, although I'm not positive. And so I'll alternate some sets with her. And I'm really excited. So, and even with that, I have a lot of material of my own that I like to play and improvise on, and then, probably about 10 standards as well that I like to play and improvise on.
Patty's Pub on Murray Street, just north of North Avenue?
That is correct.
Okay. And you should be able to recognize that if you don't know that place, if you're listening. And you can wander up Murray Street just off of North Avenue, and you'll see like this kind of, it looks like there's a grotto in there or something.
Yes.
It's a very secretive, like, wonderful magic place where you can get Guinness.
Yes, and I think the concerts should be out on the patio, which is a beautiful setting in the summer.
Well, you're not going to get any rain tonight, that's for sure. So.
Yes.
So the process now for this latest album, it interests me that you guys are collaborating basically across an ocean. And I think that's really neat. Like, so. You said you got a beat every day, a new one every day, and you would start writing to that. Did you ever like kind of put it on the back burner and try to write the next day to one, or you just kind of like go with?
Yeah, well, there would be times when I would be focusing on one song and I'd get a beat that I really liked, that I would say, I'd put it in like the yes pile, in my iTunes. I was pretty organized that way, and then I'd wait for a while, or there were ones that I put in the no pile, but ended up later on re-listening to them and wanting to try to write to them, and it worked out.
Right. So how many tracks did you end up settling on for?
I think we recorded like 16 tracks, but the album right now that we're mixing, we're down to 12 tracks.
Okay.
So we've cut some, just not because we don't like the song necessarily, but because it didn't fit with the flow of the album.
Right. Okay. Well, while I got you here, Eric, I should talk about this. You're actually going to New York.
Yes.
When are you going, by the way?
Soon.
Very soon.
It's not totally determined. I'll be leaving by mid-August, and I'm going to NYU to do a master's in music composition.
Man.
So.
We'll be working on an opera together.
Yes.
A hip opera?
No, it'll be I'll write the libretto. He's gonna do the music. It'll be pretty. Well, we'll see.
But
it's pretty up in the air.
Do you write and speak French at all now that you've been to France?
Actually, I speak a lot more French than I did when I went. But like my friend who's French, who lives there, said I spoke like a Jamaican Frenchman. Like it's like
not like a Canadian.
Not like a Canadian.
Did you sound like Creole or anything like that?
No.
I think it was more a comment on her grammar.
My grammar.
Her broken grammar.
My broken grammar.
A Jamaican Frenchman.
I don't know.
We're really good at speaking French in the present tense, but if you go past or future tense, it gets a little dicey.
Oh, okay, I get it.
So I make music, I go store.
Yeah. Right. But I did incorporate some French into my rhymes. So you'll hear that on No Mercy when it comes out.
Okay. When is that due?
With the end of August.
End of August, okay.
Yeah.
And you're still going to be here in time for the release? Or
No, I will probably be gone.
Okay.
We actually don't even have a release planned.
Mm-hmm.
We were contemplating a listening party, but it's kind of up in the air because I'm moving, and we thought we would be finished with the album sooner, but we wanted to get it right, so we took a little more time.
Well, you can always Skype.
Yes.
You know, Skype your performance in.
Yes.
That would be really awkward, but I bet we could figure out a way to make that happen.
Just need a projector.
What about like the hologram machine like they used for Tupac's?
There you go.
Hologram. You could do this.
We could do it.
We have the technology.
Yes.
Oh, we
This
don't.
time.
I'm sure there's somebody in the back room here at River West Film and Video who can put one together for us.
Yes. I see them.
They're all back there. They know what they're doing.
They're so wise.
They make this magic box run. I can't do this. Did you have to jet, or are you cool with staying for this?
No, I got some time.
Oh, great. All right, so now that I don't feel terribly rushed, I wanted to move on to, well, we go backwards, actually, to Strawberry Cadillac. So when you guys put that one out together, you kind of had a little bit of a breakthrough right off the bat with it, didn't you? I mean, you were getting interviews in magazines.
Yeah, it was really shocking because Bitch Magazine picked it up, which is a really awesome magazine. I know they sell it at Beans and Barley. They did a review on it. We got some feedback some good feedback from NPR, but I think that was on Raspberry Jesus, the second album.
Okay.
But yeah, in Milwaukee, locally, and
That was a lot
regionally,
of
it was a
local,
good
regional
turnout.
press,
Yeah. But that's very encouraging. Not a lot of people get that right off the bat like that. So it's really something.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
it kind of moved up. And you said for Raspberry Jesus, your second album, when that came out, you got track played on NPR. Is it All Songs Considered?
All Songs Considered.
Yeah, that's really great too. So you got a lot of national exposure with that, I suppose.
Yeah.
Has it like trickled down yet to bookings or anything like that for you?
Yeah, I think all that helps with like when we try to go to like we've been focusing on the coast, like San Francisco, Bay Area, California, and New York. So I think when you can put that in your press kit, like NPR, blah blah blah, in a little quote, they're more likely to take you serious and book you.
Right.
So it definitely has helped.
That's great. And so what are your trips to California like now? Like, when's the last time you went out there? Since you were in France just so recently.
January.
Yeah, we
were there in January.
And you just kind of play like one show done type thing, or do you actually move around the...
Well, we went out there because we booked a show at this great little spot called Red Poppy Art House. But the reason we went out is because we got booked to do hour-long interview on the musicality of rap on their local NPR station.
Okay.
So we were like there doing a conversation interview piece with their radio show.
Chloe Veltman.
Oh God. Sorry.
KALX.
KLX. No. Shoot.
I think it is K.
The show is called. Oh my God.
That's okay.
I just got back from France. I just hear.
She's still thinking it in There's a lot of French movies.
Voice Box.
Voice Box?
It's called Voice
Okay.
Box. Yeah. On the local NPR station.
All right. You said the musicality of hip hop, or
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was, and I don't. It was really shocking to me that even they wanted me to be this person, like as if I was some expert on the musicality of hip. It's like the first time I ever thought about it, really, because what I do is I just do it. I just write it, and it becomes musical. Somehow Eric's music is very musical. It's not like your standard loop. It's like it's classical influence with jazz influence, with hip hop influence. So just the style of music forces me to use my voice more as an instrument.
Right.
So to think about like Tupac or Lauryn Hill or Kanye West or even more underground MCs as well, we talked about them like Nenka. I never thought about it before, but hip hop is very musical if you think about the way people flow.
Yeah. I've always, when I listen to it, I don't know if anybody else gets this. Not every MC or rapper does this for me, but sometimes I can envision their voices they kind of do the same things as like a horn solo or something would over like a rhythm section playing. You know, if you got the right kind of MC, they can do that. Like, I can't think of anyone off the top of my head, but it happens once in a while where I'm listening to it and it doesn't necessarily sound like, I mean, it still sounds like a human voice saying words and everything, but like the intonations and like the way that it kind of pops up and down on the track is like different from just like speaking in a monotone voice or something like that and saying things that just happen to rhyme, you know?
Yeah. So,
well, I was going to play a track, if I can get to it here, off of Raspberry Jesus. Now, did we settle on one? I can't remember.
Love Train?
Did you want to do Love Train, or did you want to play...
we could do a more upbeat...
Bedtime Stories, maybe? Because you did talk about being...
No swears.
Yeah, that's the Bitch Magazine one, so that would be cool.
Yeah, you did talk about it, so... Let me just skip down to it here.
Praise I and one God in it. Me and Eric Meyer, H and P, we act not in it. We put a lock on it like dad, like the blower, like the glove on the car with a chain around the mower. I want more, not less. If you're gonna mention my name, then you better come correct and read the press. Bitch Magazine, bitches. I've been in Bitch Magazine, bitches. Oh, and please, no more pictures. Ain't no more swearing. What I'm wearing speaks 1,000 words. You see these boots, they got the nerve, they've crossed 1,000 worlds. And I can taste this life. It looks like light at night. It smells like love that's right. It looks like we were my sister, you're one of a kind. Hey, sister, I love your mind. Hey, sister, when you get some time, you wanna get together and spit some rhymes. Hey, sister, you're one of a kind. Hey, sister, I love your mind. Hey, sister, when you get some time, you wanna get together and spit some rhymes. I'm a style, come a good through. The MC is an MC is an MC. That's a cop out, you feeling me? Constantly pushing boundary. Went from folly to worldly. I'm the avant-garde amongst the normalcy. In a place like Milwaukee, we're talking is talking the talk. Where's the walk in the walk? I give a shout out to my girls, Miss Cream, DJ Venus, darling, think what you sounding and Roxy Bean. I have got your morphine, so come and get a shot. I'll put it in your veins, make you feel real hot. You can tell your friends you like to take my drugs a lot. Story Kelly, spooky love, smoke from here to Bangkok. Hey, sister, you're one of a kind. Hey, sister, I love your mind. Hey, sister, when you get some time, you wanna get together and spit some rhymes. Hey, sister, you're one of a kind. Hey, sister, I love your mind. Hey, sister, when you get some time, you wanna get together and spit some rhymes. I'm a baker, please forgive me, Dr. King. I know you did a lot, but so did this queen. So where is her recognition? What was her dream? And why is her legacy flowing down the stream? It always seems that behind a good man is a better woman who mapped out his plan, but didn't have him plans. Rather sit my ass in France or read about a past that's true to the past. I guess whoever writes it gets to choose the last. I guess that's why I'm writing why I chose my own cast. Never to be signed, Ella Baker's left to rhyme. Your daughter's favorite story, play it for at bedtime. Hey, sister, you're one of a kind. Hey, sister, I love your mind. Hey, sister, when you get some time, you wanna get together and spit some rhymes. Hey, sister, you're one of a kind. Hey, sister, I love your mind. Hey, sister, when you get some time, you wanna get together and spit some rhymes.
All right, we're back. Melissa is MIA at the moment, but we still have Eric Meyer with us.
Yes.
And I wanted to talk to you a bit. Like, so you're going out to NYU.
Yes.
And you're going out there, and you were talking about a group that's out there that kind of operates similarly to Present Music.
Yeah. Part of the reason I was interested in applying there was there is a group called Bang on a Can, which is a it's like a new music ensemble for classical chamber music by living composers. And it's very similar to what Present Music does here in Milwaukee. So I know I will have some classes with a woman on string quartet writing with Julia Wolf, who is one of the three founders. And then I'm not sure at this point who I will do the rest of my studies with, but it's exciting. It's a really innovative group. They do a lot of interesting things.
Okay. And you don't know who you're studying with, you said?
No, not yet. I have to register for classes and figure that out. And in part, I'm very tempted to study with somebody a little more jazz oriented. Right. So I have to kind of work that out.
And that'll play into your the opera that you're wanting to write.
Yes.
So it's gonna. So you a big fan of like Gershwin and stuff, like.
I am. I mean, I love Gershwin. Yeah. I'm a little more into just classical opera. I thought you were going to say Irving Berlin, which would have been a really obscure. No. Well, you want obscure? I got into a composer named Jean-Baptiste Lully, who was a French composer from the 1600s.
Holy smokes!
Who has some gorgeous opera music. No, but I want to do something. It's in part, I think, from my association and work at the Florentine as I became more exposed to opera. And I've worked with a lot of their young studio artists that they have. They bring in 4 singers a year and do a variety of things. And I've sort of been around that and think it's something I could get into. So, and I think I've always, like as a kid, I was always into theatrical things in the theater. And Melissa is interested in writing a libretto, which is awesome because
I think the thing that really interests me about writing the libretto is that I always want to write to sing, but I don't have like a singer's voice. I'm very limited with my range of singing, so to be able to write lyrics for someone else and I hear opera a lot, like when I'm to Eric's music, like I'll say, oh, if only I could do la la la, you know, like, and I'll go high, but of course I can't nail those notes, you know, but I love the idea of it. The storytelling is
so it's something we've talked about for a while. I put it in application as part of my proposal, so I don't think they'll hold my feet to the flames and make me do it, but it's something I want to do. I think it would be a great thesis or project to have at the end of the 2 years, so so we're going to give it a go.
And when are you going out there? You said you were planning on joining.
Yeah, it's probably in October.
October. And you were doing for a long time Beat Music series.
Yes.
Here. Which you've been a feature at.
Which I have been a part of, awesomely enough. And the last one was a couple weeks ago.
I can't
even remember now off the top of my head.
We actually have 2 more dates booked, and it looks like we have
September, November.
It looks like there's a few people who will probably carry it on, so hopefully that stays afloat.
James Murphy, who you had on the show,
and
he's expressed interest in taking it over, and Darla Nikki Jansen, who's a poet and teacher. I think they might collaborate together, taking it over.
That would be cool. Yeah, I talked to James a little bit about that. Not on the show, but when he found out, that would be really cool. I think he'd be really good for taking that over.
Yeah, definitely. It's a great little series. There's been a lot of great music features, a lot of great poets. I know Melissa and I would love to see it continue even from afar. And the Art Bar has been really receptive and a great host for it. I think it's a venue that a lot of people feel comfortable performing at. Right. So I hope it works.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I wanted to get into a little bit, because you did go all the way out to San Francisco to talk about the musicality of hip hop. Your opinion of the state of hip hop, if you have one, if you want to share one, or what you think of like the scene in general, like what it is.
In Milwaukee, or in like a...
Well, we'll start off with like in Milwaukee, you know.
I think there's a lot of talent here in Milwaukee. It's just there's not many places for people to go.
Yeah.
Which is partly why we're leaving here. There's not... I mean, what I do is so cross-genre.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm like a mix of hip-hop with poetry, with whatever jazz, eclectic stuff. But so the scene here is, I mean, they've welcomed me. It's been good to be a part of them, but I don't think there's much audience really. It's more of like a social scene than it is like you develop a fan base of like going to get drunk, and it's like it's a party, which I guess hip hop started off with to get thrown the party together, but it's a little different than its roots now today.
That's an interesting way of looking at it, and I agree with you to a certain extent. Especially the lack of what I guess I would call audience at this point, and that is very much a social scene more than it is a music scene with the traditional bands and fans split. Which is an interesting dilemma. I mean, I don't even know. I wonder where that comes from. I mean,
I don't know. I wonder if it's cultural here in Milwaukee, that people want to go out and have a party and get drunk, and it's more about the alcohol than it is about listening to music. That's just what I feel like. I mean, but even talking to people in San Francisco, they feel like the same thing is happening in San Francisco, where there's less appreciation for music. We found that in Europe, there's so much higher appreciation for art, music, and culture than the United States, at least from what we noticed. People are willing to pay for art. The digital culture is changing everything.
Right.
I think,
That's kind of what I feel like. I feel like that people don't necessarily always pay for their music, and then they don't want to pay for it when they go see it live.
Right.
So they don't. They just plain old don't, which is kind of an interesting problem. But I've noticed, like, with other genres, a lot of the people that are in the audience are also in bands that are playing in the same genre of music, and they just don't have the show that night, but they're there supporting their friends, kind of thing. And so I don't know, and I would almost agree with the drinking thing, except I think most of those people that I know are like also straight edge kids, what I mean? It's just like they're not drinking anyway. So nobody wants them at their shows because they don't support the bar at all.
Right. Yeah. So they don't get booked again. Right. That's another thing. Yeah, maybe it starts with the bar.
I think Milwaukee also
we like the art bar.
Milwaukee also has a tradition of cover bands.
Yeah.
That I think is to some extent carried over to DJs in terms of they're a little. I don't want to say I think they're easier for the venue because people know what they're getting. They can kind of just come party, have a good time, hear songs they know. And so I think that plays into some of the music scene culture here to a certain degree as well, for better or worse.
Well, I've noticed there's a couple venues around town that just only have DJ shows and have banned hip-hop altogether. Which I think is kind of the wrong move, but that's one of those things that plays into ending a scene or just driving it into the shadows, as it were.
But that's been a long-standing problem with hip-hop.
And I think it's weird because I don't, it's associated with like violence and problems, but that doesn't happen at every show. In fact, it's kind of rare. I mean, I personally see more fights start at like metal shows and DJ shows.
Yeah,
even.
I couldn't imagine being at a metal show. That would be.
Well, metal shows they're not violent. They're just like they just get into it once in a while in the pit or something like that. They usually break it up. But I've seen more fights starting at shows at the DJ shows that I go to occasionally, because there's more boy-girl drama. And there's usually a lot more designer drugs.
Right.
So you mix those two together,
Yeah,
it's
wham, bam.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
It's interesting. Anyway.
Yeah, I've never been at a show where there's a fight. But there's always drama. I mean, no matter where you go, there's drama. But the art bar, we've never had drama. That's why we love it there. And for the Beat Music series.
People are pretty respectful there, too. Like, they actually are fairly quiet when the spoken word artists are going up. Because, like, with musicians going up, they feel like they can just talk in the background and everything. And because the art bar is separated by the two levels that are going on. So, like, the people that are there to drink and have a good time go off in the back. Which I think is really beneficial. I think Art Bar benefits from that, and the same way that Linneman's kind of benefits from the way it's set up in terms of having the bar kind of separated from the performer space, you know, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've always been really lucky with Art Bar too, because we've never charged a cover, and so we get a mixture of sort of street traffic and people there to see the show, and it's always worked really well. That could be a volatile combination depending on the situation, but it's always worked out really well for us.
Yeah, that's great. So like you said, Melissa, that you do a lot of like combination, like spoken word artistry mixed with your hip hop. So what can you say to like the way spoken word is kind of treated relative to everything, you know? Because I noticed like there's very few, like Beat Music Series, kind of one of the only places I've seen that has the hip hop mixed so openly with like spoken word and with other genres of music even, and I think that's kind of an interesting thing. Yeah. So like, how did you guys get to the point where it was just kind of natural, I guess, to include?
Yeah, it was natural because there's so many musicians here that we really, both Eric and I have really open taste in music, so all genres pretty much we'll give a shot to, and there's so many musicians here that we really appreciate their style, the dedication that they put into it, and we just wanted to incorporate that. We didn't want to be so closed off, like in a box, like a hip-hop show or strictly hip-hop or strictly poetry or strictly folk or jazz or whatever. So it evolved naturally, and it's a way for us, because we're so busy, we don't always get to see other shows that we can bring the people that we want to see to perform with us, and then we see them right then and there.
Yeah.
And it creates a community too. Like, you learn and grow from each other.
Yeah, I do see a lot of the same folks kind of come into the Beat series, but there's a lot of new people that come in too, with every new act and with the street traffic, like you said, to come in. It's really important, I think. And that was kind of your home base for performing in Milwaukee for like a while there too. I mean, I know you did shows like Highbury and stuff like that once in a while, but
yeah, it turned out the Highbury crowd was more about the alcohol, and less about the art. And that's not, I mean, you know, that's fine, but we want people to listen to us, and we want it to be about the art. Like, for me, I'm not having fun if I'm performing and people are like just drunk and falling all over the place. Like, I don't know, I think that's also why we appreciate the poetry, incorporating the poetries, because it's about the words and thinking, and I don't know, we think when we hit New York, we want to try to hit up more jazz style clubs and evolve a piano set with Eric and me with the loop pedal, because I just like that intimacy, and I like to have people's attention and have them listening. And I mean, sure, we could rock like a huge crowd, or we could, you know, do a party, get the party started, but most often times, unless you're huge, or, you know, rocking Summerfest or South by Southwest, that's just not good enough for me, you know, in a little club.
Yeah. It's an important thing to consider, like how you want to like roll, I guess. Eric's got a split right now, so
bye, Eric.
See you, Eric.
Peace.
And thanks for coming on the show, man.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so now that he's gone, we can have fun. I'm
yeah. Eric. Yeah, he's the man.
How many books did you have to get from, you know, to learn to speak French? I mean, did you take classes, or what did you do?
I took one semester of French at UWM.
At UWM.
And then I did Rosetta Stone for a little bit.
Does that work?
It does, if you can do it every day. Like,
really?
But you really have to do it every day.
It's like an exercise machine then.
Yeah.
Then I'm not doing it.
You're not going to see results. But I did it this morning. I found it was like exercise. It's funny that you compare it to that, because I felt like I released all these endorphins after I was done. And I was so happy. And then done it in like 3 or 4 days. My mood completely changed. Because France is really my life. My goal is to end up there in 5 years, hopefully.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Now you've played a bunch of shows in France too, right? Like, or
No, we just did one. We just did one. Yeah,
Weird.
I was just focusing.
I thought you were gonna like rock a bunch of shows.
We were thinking about doing like a whole European tour thing, but I really wanted to focus on the album.
Okay.
And part of the reason I went there to this artist residency was so that I could focus on writing. I was having a really hard time here.
Yeah.
For like a year and a half, I've been trying to write since I released Raspberry Jesus, and it was really difficult for me. And so I went there, and it just started flowing, and we were like, let's just focus on the album. When else will I have 2 months to just sit and write?
Right.
So that's what I did, yeah.
That's amazing. I still can't get over like that all happened for you. That's so cool,
Yeah.
Just being able to go. And did you find yourself doing a lot of? You were focusing, obviously, but were you able to do any kind of touristy things and just wander the countryside, so to speak? Because you weren't in Paris, you were outside.
Yeah, I was outside of Paris, about like an hour train ride.
Okay.
Which
South?
Southeast.
Southeast. Okay.
Yeah. And so it's pretty much like the distance from Milwaukee to Chicago.
Okay.
And so I would spend my weekends in Paris as much as I could afford. You know, like I couldn't go there. Maybe went like 4 weekends to Paris out of 2 months, which was good, but most of the time I spent in the countryside of France, just writing with the music. And there's artist residencies all over the United States, all over the world, for poetry, for music, visual art. I really encourage all people to try to apply to these
That's a good
places.
idea. If you're listening right now, Google that stuff, whatever you got to do. The guy with the question mark jacket probably has all the answers in that book, how to get free money or something. Right?
Yeah, he does. He's got all the answers.
Did you end up using any guidebooks while you were in France? I really want to know if Rick Steves' show is worth it,
Oh, I love Rick Steves. It's definitely worth it.
It's like it really, like his guidebooks actually pay off. Like somebody told me that all of his tips work, which I'm like, that can't be. No one could just have their tips work constantly. I mean, some of the ones that were even 5 years old worked. Getting into the Louvre or whatever, like, without standing in line.
Oh, see, I don't know. I didn't have Rick Steves' book. I should have. But I think one of the artists at the residency did have his book because she was suggesting restaurants based on Rick Steves.
That's awesome. I just wanted to know that worked.
Yeah. So,
He's got the hookup.
Yeah.
Well, and then I thought I saw that you had played in Belgium or something once.
Yeah, we did. This was
that was years ago.
Yeah, like 2 years, 3 years ago now. That was a really awesome show. There's this collective called the Superfly Collective out of Brussels, and it's a group of women who are DJs, visual artists. This one woman runs a female hip hop magazine, but it's not just female hip hop, but it's really focuses more so on women in hip hop. Called An Attitude Magazine. You can check that out online. It's really awesome. But so they brought Eric and I to do a show in Brussels.
That's so
for
cool.
that. Yeah, they bring people from all over the world, like Eternia La Melodia from Amsterdam, Eternia from New York. I don't know. I can't think of.
They really do appreciate the arts more over there.
Yes.
Flying?
So
they flew you in?
No, they didn't fly. They paid for our transportation from London.
Oh, yeah.
And our hotel.
Did you take a boat or did you take a plane from London?
What?
Did you take the boat or the plane?
Over?
Yeah.
From here
from London, I mean.
Oh, from London we took the train.
Oh, through the tunnel into the...
Into the tunnel.
Oh, nice.
It was a long while holding my breath.
Really? Was it scary going under there?
You don't even notice it.
Oh.
Really, it's like black and, you know.
Take a book.
Take a book.
Because there are lights on the train, I assume.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a book light just so you can travel by train.
No, their trains are so much faster over there, too.
Well, like, everything's on train in Europe now. Like, it's ridiculous. I still wonder why we can't get that over here. It's just...
We got it vetoed here. But we can't talk about that here in Burdock because we are responsible for what we say.
Jeez, yeah.
Is politics considered?
No, I think I could talk about that. I think that's a disclaimer, actually, so now I can fully rail against whatever I want to do, as long as, I don't cuss.
Yeah.
And then it's not their fault that I get everyone arrested, I think.
Lawsuits
right.
happening.
Well, jeez.
You need a good lawyer.
I think I'm running out of stuff that I was going to talk to you about, because we went through so much. We did France. We talked about moving to New York, collaborating with Eric. We talked a little bit about the hip-hop scene. I think these are all of my asterisks.
Yeah, those were some good asterisks.
Asterisks. Did you did a local live set once, didn't you? Or
yes.
Yeah.
I love WMC.
Because I was seriously just over, because before I came here, I was working at Woodland Patterns Inventory, and I was checking the CDs off, and so I actually ended up having to go through your CDs.
Oh, awesome.
And Eric Mire CDs, and of course the count was wrong. So you don't have any Strawberry Cadillacs in stock, by the way. So you need
But am I supposed to?
I don't know. I think it said you had one.
Uh-oh.
But it also said that you had done local live, but I don't think you had any there.
Oh.
I think that was gone. I think that was a zero, a goose egg.
That was a zero.
But it was still like.
Well, those were a limited edition, so those are gone now. If they're gone, if you didn't pick up the local live CD of me with the Eric Mire Band, it's gone. But it is available for download on my website.
Right.
For free. www.melissa, M-E-L-I-S-S-A, Czarnik, CZARNIK.com.
Well, we'll put the link on the website or on the podcast. So if you're listening to this in the podcast, you'll see it in the profile. But if you're listening to it live, you can check it out right now.
Yes.
All right. So we're gonna close out, I think. Maybe a little early. It's
been a pleasure.
I really can't think of what else I want to say. Now, what song did you want to?
Let's end it up closing with a love song, Love Train.
Love Train.
Great. For all those summertime lovebirds. We were walking down by Lake Michigan last night, and there were so many couples sitting, looking out at the lake.
I've noticed that it is like Paris down there, actually, isn't it?
I was like, what's going on?
They sit on the rocks, and they have their arms around each other, and then if you're single like me, you just hate them. You just want to go up and push them all in.
Right.
And into the poopy, smelly water. Remember, the views expressed here belong only to the producer of this show. And the water may not actually be poopy and smelly, but it seems like it is. All right. So once again, I just got to say thanks, Melissa, for showing up and doing my show. This was really cool of you. And
it was nice to be here.
Awesome. And, good luck in New York. And I wanted to wish Eric good luck, but he's gone. But I think he knows that he's got all of our support and friendship going with him when he goes out there to get his master's done. And I think it's just great that you guys are, taking things to the next level and representing like you are.
Yeah. Thank you. You too.
Aww.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to play Love Train off of Raspberry Jesus to end the show. So thanks, everybody, for listening to Burdock Radio. I'm your host, Keith Gosted. My guest has been Melissa Czarnik and Eric Mire. And until next week, this is Keith Gosted on RiverwestRadio.com. Bye.
I guess that's it, you only get what you put in for. I put in 4 whole years, now there's a door, and I'm walking through it, creeping kinda slowly, cause I'm wondering if you're looking at me only. Remember times you pulled me close, and I pushed you away. Can't believe we're still here today. Put it up on me, give it to me, honey, like you said you would. Now put it up on me, give it to me slowly, like you said you would. Now put it up on me, give it to me, honey, like you said you would. Now put it up on me, give it to me slowly, like you said you would. So baby, let's stay involved. I see you call. Why didn't you leave a message after all we have been through? Oh, I'm telling you, boo, it doesn't get easy, but more difficult to try and work it out. I'm like sweating it out. I'm like under the couch, I done swept it all out, and you can hear the cans, the banging on the ground. It ain't my wedding day, it's my everyday love train. Put it up on train, give it to me, honey, like you said you would. Now put it up on me, give it to me slowly, like you said you would. Now put it up on me, give it to me, honey, like you said you would. want what's best for me. Seen my whole family fall in love with tragedy, and I wonder if I tell you, I wonder what you think of me when you start to know me. Will you still want to know me? And I ain't got no reason why I'm tripping like this. I guess I come from this place where true love don't exist. So when I look at our love, I think love can't be this. I'm so confused, yeah, you still insist this is it. Now put it up on me, give it to me, honey, like you said you would. Now put it up on me, give it to me slowly, like you said you would. Now put it up on me, give it to me, honey, like you said you would. Now put it up on me, give it to me slowly, like you said you would. The second time I met you, I knew that I was in for. Cause the first time I met you, had a feeling you were good for me. Couldn't push your boundaries cause I didn't even know you. But the more I got to know you, the more I want to tell you that every day I wake up, you're the first thing on my mind. And every night I fall asleep, you're the last thing as the time slips away into the sheets for another night of sleep. One day our families will have peace if they ever get to meet. I swear sometimes it feels like they live across the sea. Might as well be that we had never been friends, that we had never met. When you had never climbed up that fence that night when you pressed your eyes into my eyes and you handed me the crest. You swore by the moon, said there wasn't anything that you wouldn't do. What an inconstant moon. Love is complicated, love ain't easy. This love is special when you're standing next to me. Love is forbidden and love is forgotten. This love is too powerful, so don't try and stop it. Love is complicated, love ain't easy. This love is special when you're standing next to me. Love is forbidden and love is forgotten. This love is too powerful, so don't try and stop it. Meet me in private so we can be private, but princess and a pirate. Line me up and fire up the climate. Like to play games, I can find it. Everything you say is just finest. Got me speechless, I'm just afraid this love won't make it. So much at stake is so bright and blue and so deep red. I never thought I'd find a love like love is complicated, love ain't easy. This love is special when you're standing next to me. Love is forbidden and love is forgotten. This love is too powerful, so don't try and stop it. Love is complicated, love ain't easy. This love is special when you're standing next to me. Love is forbidden and love is forgotten. This love is too powerful, so don't try and stop it. And now that I have you, I feel that I could lose you. Cause everyone's tugging me and telling me to undo the connection that we have. You can't even plan, that's why everybody's mad. They don't care to ask, even the stars are jealous.